welcome to another edition of Eric's Product Reviews, brought to you by hollywoodfrodo.com. I am Eric, and as you can see today I'm sitting on the floor, and that's because I'm here next to this guy. This is a large room tower air purifier by Levoit. Levoit specializes in air purifiers. They have several different models and sizes. This is the largest of their air purifiers, and this covers an area up to about 700 square feet. So perfect for an open area like where I am right now. I'm in a walkthrough area, and there's a dining room and a kitchen and a living room, and they're all open to each other. About 700 square feet of space, and this will cover up to around 700 square feet of space. You could also use this in a large master bedroom or just any large room. There's not a limit to how small the room could be. It'll just work even more efficiently. But it will cover large areas, and that's what this is for. That's why you would get this machine. This is an awesome machine. Any machine you get is only going to be as good as the filter that you use in it. With this machine, there's a filter right there, as you can see. And it's easy to replace that filter, take it in, put it in and take it out and replace it when you need to. You have to replace that guy about every 6 to 8 months, just depending on how the quality, how dirty your air is basically, and how much effort it's having to put out. But that filter has 3 stages. It has a preliminary filter that gets larger particles such as pet hair, dust, things like that. It then has an advanced HEPA filter that neutralizes airborne bacteria and things like pollen and fungi. And then there's an activated carbon filter, which is going to help neutralize odors in your household, things like cooking smells, pet odors, things like that. So it has the filter to do everything it needs to do. Not just that, this guy is full of really awesome features. I'm going to demo those for you in just a minute, but just to tell you about a few of them, one of the things it has that's cool, you can see it is on wheels. So even though it's kind of a larger tower air filter, you can move this around very easily. So you may have it in a certain spot where you keep it most of the time when it's running, but then when you have guests over or something, you need to just kind of move it out of the way, and that's easy to do because it is on rollers. Also comes with about a 5-foot cord that is detachable, so it's easy to take that off when you need to and move it around. And also has some really cool features up top besides obviously a power button. It has a ring that glows different colors to give you an indication of the current air quality. It has different fan speeds. It also has an auto feature. It has a sleep feature, which makes it even quieter. You can turn the display off if the lights are bothering you on the display, which we keep this in our theater room, in our living room of this area, and even when we have all the lights off and we're watching TV, it's not that bright, so it doesn't bother us at all. It also has a filter reminder to remind you after a certain amount of time that you need to check the filter and possibly replace it, and it has a sleep timer. So I'm going to demo those for you in a minute and show you also let you hear it, because of course with a filter this large you want to know, what does it sound like? Is it loud? And it's not. If you run it on the high fan speed, then yes, it is a little bit louder, but on a regular basis, and we keep it on auto. And auto is awesome because when it's on auto, it'll adjust the fan speed itself based on the particles in the air. And that's another cool feature of this. On the back here, as this is pulling in the air, there is a laser sensor inside of here. I believe it's located in this area here, and that laser sensor is reading the particles that are in the air. It's a called a PM 2.5 value, and what that is, it's the amount of particles within a cubic meter. Now that's way more scientific than I know or care about, but basically what that's telling me and what I'm sharing with you is that that laser is constantly reading how many particles are in your air. And there's a ring up here that will change colors if the air quality goes down. But there's also a readout that's telling you exactly how many particles within a cubic meter it's detecting. So it gives you an exact reading of the air quality, which is pretty awesome. And with the auto feature, based on what it's reading, it will adjust itself, adjust how strong or low the speed of the fan is. So that's really, really cool. So right now I'm going to jump over and demo the various settings on here so you can see how those work, as well as let you hear the different sound levels at the different speeds. Right now it's running on automatic, and it's running at a fairly low speed. With automatic, it'll, depending on how dirty the air is, it'll increase or decrease the speed. But automatic, ours is generally running on a low speed, and you can't really even hear it if you're not listening for it. It doesn't bother us at all. You do have the ability to turn off the lights, so if the lights are bothering you, but they're very subtle, so we don't have an issue. Even if we're watching a movie in a completely dark room, this little tiny light doesn't really bother us, so we tend to just leave that alone. You also can set up a timer. We don't really use that function because we just leave it running all the time, but if you wanted to set up a timer and have it running for a certain amount of time, then you could set up a timer and have it running for a certain amount of time. You can also control the speed of the fan. So this is now going to be medium speed. It's running at a much higher rate. It's still not loud. It's like a very low fan sound. Now on the highest speed you'll definitely hear it. Now at that speed you definitely hear it. It sounds kind of like an air conditioning. But on the lowest speed, you barely hear it at all. It's just, if you weren't listening for it, you wouldn't know. And then there is also the quiet mode, which allows it to run even quieter, just to really run at a very low speed to keep it really quiet. But you do also have the power button, turn it off completely. But like I said, we generally keep ours in automatic, which keeps it running at a low speed unless the particles it's detecting in the air, which is what this number is letting you know. The particles that are in there, if that were to get high, then it will increase the speed a little bit. But generally speaking, it just keeps it running at a low level, and you don't even hear it in the background. And then there is an indicator here to remind you to check the filter after a certain amount of time to see if you need to replace the filter. So you can see when this is running on a normal speed, either the low speed or, like I said, we keep it on auto, it is very quiet. You don't hear it at all. We don't know it's running, but it's constantly running. And because it's so big, it doesn't have to run at a really high speed or be loud in order to do what it does. It can run at that low speed, just constantly pulling in the air. It's pulling in air from all four sides, pulling it up through the filter and cleaning that air before it puts it back out into your room. So really excellent product by Levoit. Now this is not an inexpensive product, I'll tell you that right now. Again, this is the largest of the air purifiers they have. It does run around $400. Sometimes it will be on sale for a little bit less than that. One thing to keep in mind, like I said, an air purifier is only as good as the filter that goes into it. And they put a lot into making that filter an excellent filter with the HEPA filter and the carbon filter part of it. And so the replacement filter also costs about $80, and that's important to know. You will have to replace that. On average, they say about 6 to 8 months. Could be a little bit sooner if your air is really dirty. Could be a little bit longer if maybe you keep your windows closed all the time and you run air conditioning and heat constantly, so you're filtering some stuff out that way. So it just depends on how you use it. But about every 6 to 8 months, and it does cost about $80 to replace the filter. So that's something you'll want to know. Now, if you're looking for something for a smaller room, again, you could use this in a bedroom and it would just be very efficient. But if you're looking for something a little bit less expensive, Levoit does make two other sizes. There's a smaller air filter, and we actually have a couple of those. We have one of those in our bedroom as well. And then they make sort of a medium size, kind of between that size and this size. So I'll put links in the description below to those so you can check those out as well if that's what you're in the market for. But if you have the money to invest in something like this, this is really going to do the best job of keeping your air clean and pure, especially in like a large family room, or if you have an area like us where we have a family room, dining room, and kitchen that are all kind of open together. And this does an excellent job of keeping that entire area pure and clean and keeping the air purified and eliminating odors and pet hair and things like that. Just a really excellent product, again, by Levoit. They specialize in air purifiers, so something they know and do well. I will have a link in the description below to this product on Amazon. You can click that link, you can jump over to Amazon, you can read what other people have said about it, pick one up for yourself, and I'll throw the link down there to their other air purifiers as well if you want to consider those. Anyway, that's going to be it for this review. If you like this review, please click that like button. If you know anyone who might be interested in this product or maybe needs one, feel free to share this video with them. All those ways are down there. Don't forget to favorite this playlist if you want to keep up with future product reviews, or just go ahead and subscribe to my channel and keep up with all my videos. Anyway, that's going to be it until next time, so have a great day.